So thank you for tuning in to the Weekly Review with me, Siti Norapsai Juswa. So Soroptimist International is a worldwide service organization for women. It is a global voice for women working through awareness, advocacy, and action, and committed to a world where women and girls together achieving their individual and collective potential, realize aspirations, and have an equal voice in creating strong, peaceful communities worldwide. The organization has about 90,000 members in over 3,000 clubs in 124 countries. So in Malaysia alone, Soroptimist International has been established for 20 years and has conducted numerous programs to uplift the lives of women in the country. I talked to both of the organization's Malaysia's regional president, Joanne Yeoh, and one of its members who is also a physician, Dr. Saradha Narayanan, to shed some light on what Soroptimist is all about. All right, now let's shoot to the first question. What is Soroptimist all about, actually, Joanne?
Soroptimist is a bit of a mouthful, I tell you. Most people don't even know how to pronounce it, in fact, what it means. But Soroptimist actually comes with two words. Soro meaning sister, and Optima being the best. So it's women at their best, doing their best for women.
I see.
This is what it means. Soroptimist International has been around since 1921. The first club was started in the US, in Oakland, in California.
Right.
A bunch of ladies got together and decided that they want to be passionate about what they want to give back to community. And they wanted to do some projects which would be meaningful enough for the community. What happened was that they started seeing all the famous oak trees in California being felled down by the timber companies. They decided to get together. They lobbied government. They created havoc for the lumber companies, and lo and behold, they were successful.
Right.
Today, we still have got the redwood still in California. And then on, we have moved on much bigger. We are 90,000 members all around the world, in 125 countries, in 3,000 clubs. And in Malaysia itself, we have been in here since 1991. The very first club was started in Kuala Lumpur, Esa Kuala Lumpur, and followed on, we have now got 14 clubs with very small group of women, but very passionate in what they do, and they have made a difference to all our various Malaysian communities where our clubs are. There's only about 250 of us in this country. Soroptimist International is not a charity organization. We are a service organization. In other words, if we raise
So you're
funds,
not a charity organization? So
we are not.
What are the services that you are currently doing?
What we mean by service is that when we raise money, it's always for our own projects.
Okay.
So we are hands-on. We will go in and do, for example, when we say reading a literacy program,
Right.
like what Dr. Saradha and myself come from, the Club of Damansara. Although I'm the national president, I'm also a member of my own chapter. We do reading a literacy where we literally go in hands-on to help the children in various homes. Here, I think today we're having something for our club. We have like about 10 homes that we sponsor. And we look into the education needs of the children, whether it's in terms of English literacy, whether it's handling their own exams, for example, preparation for the exams, even encouraging the students to be star performers. So if they do well, they get a little reward from us. So it's encouraging the right children, the children to have this mindset that they're going to succeed in life. And we're giving them that assistance to succeed in life.
So that is the kind of service that Soroptimist or SI Malaysia is currently handles here in Malaysia. So, I mean, what are some issues that Soroptimist, international champions here in Malaysia?
If you look at the structure and if you go into our website, Soroptimist International on a national level is actually even represented at United Nations. We get involved with human rights. For example, this year, there is 16 days of say no to gender violence.
That is interesting.
And so we get involved with it. So we on our level in this country and all the rest of the Soroptimist International all around the world, we take on that 16 days where we do an awareness program or an advocacy project that raises something about human rights. We're looking at something right now. When the time comes, I would love to come back here and talk about the huge project that we're doing. So this is exactly what we're looking at when we talk about advancing women's human rights. But of course, specifically more for women, because we are a women's organization.
Only women?
Only women and girls. We mustn't forget the girls.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are the requirements to be a member of SI?
You don't really need to have plenty of money or anything, but you need to have the passion. Passion to want to do something for the women in your community or the girls in your community. That's all we ask. And of course, some time to give, to be hands-on in all the projects that we do. Yeah.
So I mean, you do have to have, when you say that you're not a charity organization, so how can you generate the money then?
We raise funds, okay, but our funds are not just to give. We give, but we also are hands-on in the projects. Say, for example, we may give money to a home, for example, but we just don't give the home and say, you take care of yourself, we'll give you the money. We come in and, for example, when we look at the children, they will probably have needs for education. We come in, make sure that we have, for example, a little bit like tuition, we need to have the teachers, the volunteer teachers. And in fact, Dr. Saradha is also very involved in our club, where we're doing a volunteer program. So we bring volunteers from overseas to our clubs. Maybe you want to speak a little bit about the volunteers, Dr. Saradha.
Right, actually that's a new program that we launched last year, and very aptly it's called Building Bridges Beyond Borders. And what this program is, we source volunteers from the UK. Most of them are actually gap year students or young university graduates who want to explore the world, travel, and at the same time give a little bit of their time volunteer in a capacity that will help other children. They are very community conscious, I find, which is something that's kind of lacking amongst youngsters in this country to a certain extent.
But why UK? Why not Malaysia itself?
Yes, we are promoting this even in Malaysian students. So when we do our English camps, which is part of our educational project, we use volunteers from secondary schools to run these camps for the children in the homes and orphanages.
So I mean, I understand that Soroptimist International is doing like some kind of awareness campaign for menopause for women, maybe, Dr. Saradha?
Right, that again is a big project that we actually mooted last year.
Last year?
We decided that there was we were told by our Federation President, who is actually a Malaysian. We are indeed blessed and very honored that a Malaysian, Puan Sri Suyong Yanalingam, is the current Federation President. And she came up with the idea that we should do a nationwide project. So she told us, go look for funds, maybe even apply to the ministry, because the ministry has got Lembaga Promosi Kesihatan Malaysia, My Sehat they call it. So they actually encourage NGOs to apply for funds and then go out and do projects to create awareness about health, and especially to do with screening for non-communicable diseases, for screening for cancer, any other topics that you think might benefit the health of a person, physical or mental. So she came up with the idea, and then we discussed it at committee level, and Joanne herself proposed, why don't we do menopause? Well, why menopause?
Yeah,
I mean,
why menopause
in the first place?
You know? Yeah, why menopause?
Well, menopause, I think, is a natural part of every woman growing older. It's something that we all have to go through at some time in our lives. And it is something that not many people speak about. It used to be like a rather taboo subject. You grin and bear it. You just go through all the symptoms and signs and don't talk about it. You know, come on, get on with it. You know,
it's life.
Why are you complaining? That's life, you know. But we think that women, especially women in rural settings, urban poor, who are actually our target audience, we want them to be aware of the signs and symptoms of menopause, what it can do to you, the physical, the mental, the emotional changes, and also to tell them that you can seek help. There are treatment options available, that they don't have to suffer in silence. And we want to educate this group of people. So she said, let's do it nationwide. So the first program is on the 17th of June, which is this Sunday. Coincidentally, it's Father's Day.
Father's Day, yep.
But we are doing a project for women on Father's Day because I think women make happy men.
Well, behind every successful man is a woman, right?
Yes, correct, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so I mean, in terms of the organization itself, what are the challenges that currently, Soroptimist is actually, undergoing, to provide all these funds for all these homes and charity events or events? Yeah.
Funding has always been a big problem. So there are lots of creative ways. Like this creative way is to put a paper in to the ministry and says, hey, can we do something that affects us women? We are what best women's organization doing something for the women. And this is what we find, that we tend to have to come up with creative ways to raise money. But more importantly, there's also the need for hands, ladies to go in and do the projects. And put it this way, we are also wanting to increase our membership, because obviously there are ladies who have got certain times of their life where they say, hey, look, family comes first. So they can't give really much of their time to do the projects or to do community work. Then you have another phase where, okay, we're all empty nesters now, kids are gone, so now we have more time to come in. So there's also the challenge of increasing of membership. That's what we need. And it's not only happening here in Malaysia, it's happening throughout Soroptimist International all around the world.
Ah, I see.
Okay. And don't forget, it tends to target Soroptimist International. Our age group tends to be a little bit more matured, all right? Not so much young people like yourselves, okay? Where there will be certain interest areas that you all will be different from more matured ladies. So that is what I'm trying to say about our challenges in our membership, to maintain and increase our membership.
That's what we are living for, right? For our husbands and family.
Well,
No,
I think
live for
that
yourself.
concept is changing, because that's, I don't know whether if you have a look at that booklet,
Yes.
Oh, you have
see
this
it actually says, Wanita Berseri Keluarga Bahagia. So we want to emphasize that a woman has to take care of herself, be attractive and glowing and beautiful, Berseri. And then your family's health will follow. The family's well-being is dependent on the woman's well-being.
Right.
So we want to put that message across, that you have to take care of yourself. It doesn't mean that you should always give in and do something for somebody else. It's not that we are saying that's not your role. But we want to emphasize that you need to take care of yourself so that you can take care of your family. And along with having treatment options for menopause and telling them that don't be upset when you get these hot flushes, your skin becomes dry, you feel lousy, you're depressed, you're agitated, you're upset, and you don't feel like the person you thought you were.
True.
That is also the period where women are at higher risk for other diseases. So in conjunction with menopause, we are trying to promote early detection of cancer, especially breast and cervical cancer, the top 2 cancers that affect women in this country and actually throughout the world. Breast cancer is the #1 cause of death from cancer amongst women, and cervical cancer is the #2 cause of death.
Right.
From cancer.
From cancer.
All right?
Oh my goodness.
So
that's an eye opener. In regards with the campaign itself, does Soroptimist has any collaborations with any organizations in
Yes.
Malaysia then?
In this particular case, we have the Lembaga Promosi Kesihatan Negara, who's granting us the grant to partially fund
It's not fully
it's not a
funded.
full, it's a partially fund. Our efforts in doing in 3 centers. So the first one we're doing in Desa Mentari, the urban poor in Sunway, then the next one will be in Pantai Dalam, and the last one would be probably in Sentul or in Batu Caves. After that, we also have our collaboration with LPPKN to help us with the screening, the health screening. So health screening covers everything for a woman, including breast examination and pap smears. And they are also helping the women to get free mammograms as well. You know, this is very costly. You wouldn't believe it, but each screening costs 25 ringgit.
25 ringgit.
that's not including,
those-
that
and your
doesn't
target
include the mammogram.
That's
It
right.
includes the pap smear and
your
the
target your target market is underprivileged women in
40 years and above.
40 years and above. But why underprivileged? Why not all the women then?
all the other women hopefully can afford to pay
Can
for the
afford to pay
screening.
for it.
These women cannot afford to pay for the screening, so they will not. Like I said, they don't prioritize their health.
Yes.
So they will not go and have the checkup. You will not detect it. When you detect cancer early, you have a high chance of treating it, and you may even have a good chance of curing the cancer if you catch it early. You're picking up cells, atypical cells that may become cancer cells early. So if you go regular checkups every year, every woman should have a pap smear every year after the age of 40.
Right.
You want to pick up those cancer cells early so that you can have targeted
what to
treatment.
do,
You know
right.
what to do next. If you wait until it's gone outside the cervix, it's spread to other parts of the body, it's really no. That's not preventive medicine at all.
Right.
And the other beautiful thing about cervical cancer is that there's now a vaccine. So again, the ministry has gone all out to promote vaccination with HPV vaccine. HPV is a very big name, human papilloma virus.
There you
But
go.
they
I
have
don't even know
seen-
how to pronounce it
Yeah.
right.
That's a virus that's closely linked with cervical cancer.
And of course, the one more group which I also want to mention is the Malaysian Menopause Society. The ONG doctors who are coming to give the talks for the public forum, they're doing it pro bono.
Pro bono, completely. They're doing it out of their free time.
And they are coming on a weekend because that's the time that the mothers are free, all right?
Right.
And they're actually coming out during the
That's
weekends.
the time the doctors are also free.
Oh.
And they're giving pro bono their time to come in to speak on menopause.
Okay, so talking on the investor side, okay, I run the business, and you actually came in for me with a proposal to do some events, and let's say why should I contribute when I don't get anything from y'all, from Soroptimist?
Let me give you an angle. There is a particular lady who owns a salon. She is doing a product that's supposed to do, it involves feminine hygiene.
Okay.
Right? She's contributing for every product that she sells. She's contributing to a CSR. She's going to contribute towards this particular program on menopause. So if you're looking at an organization, it's not all about money, but it's also a little bit of CSR that you can promote that you are doing the CSR.
Correct.
Indirectly, you're also promoting your company.
Right.
So in that sense, that's what we are looking at, a win-win partnership with corporations. And don't forget we have, take for example, I have not worked with L'Oreal, but I know L'Oreal does a lot of breast cancer awareness every year.
They do.
Okay, but indirectly, L'Oreal gets a name out there helping women.
For the CSR.
That's right. So CSR to me is the way that corporations should go on. That's how they will be able to get their brands out into the market too.
Oh, that is fairly interesting. I mean, in terms of menopause again, I mean, do you receive any cases which is far too serious? I mean, but far too late to actually prevent it?
Menopause is a phase that we go through. It may stretch over a few years. It's not just one point in time. Today I'm fine, tomorrow I'm menopausal, bang, that's it. No, it's actually, say, between the ages of 45 and 55, 90% of women will undergo menopause. It is the gradual cessation of your monthly cycles, your periods. And in medical terms, it means that you can no longer function in a reproductive way. You cannot have children anymore,
Right.
because your ovaries stop producing hormones, estrogens. So you're no longer fertile. Okay, now I'm not talking about kinky movies where they put babies in Arnold Schwarzenegger and create twins or that kind of stuff. But generally speaking, that's what happens. And there are many products now out there to help you. There cannot be such a case as too serious. But having said that, as we ourselves have experienced, many women experience symptoms, but not all have it as severely as some do. Some have very severe symptoms. Some of the worst are like hot flushes, profuse sweating, especially
This
at
is
night.
in the period of
in
menopause
the period
itself.
of menopause itself. And it's all due to these hormonal changes in your body. It affects your mood, it affects the way you feel, you think, you behave. It also affects your skin, it becomes dry. It makes you feel not good. Your bones are likely to be more osteoporotic. You're also at higher risk from getting cardiovascular diseases. So you have many complications that straddle the menopausal period.
Right.
Now, there are medicines that you can take, and we want them to be told not to be afraid of drugs like HRT, hormone replacement therapy. That's what it stands for, HRT. And as long as you consult your doctor, just don't go to the quack and take your own medicine outside. Go see your doctor, have your checkups, make sure that you have a clean bill of health, you've had your pap smears, you've had your breast exams, you've had your blood screens. He can give you something that's suitable for you. There are many different types in the market.
Right.
In addition, there are natural products you can take as well that help you go through the symptoms. So there's no such case as you are beyond help. You can always be helped.
I see.
right?
I mean, it's never too late, right?
It's never too late.
Exactly.
It's never too late.
So in terms of the organization itself, if I join the Soroptimist SI in Malaysia, what are the benefits that I will get actually? You know?
There are many people at a certain phase in life, they feel, hey, I want to get back and do something for community, something that gives up my time, something that I see a needy woman or girl needing help. And that's where our attraction is. Like I said, we are not a charity organization. We just don't raise money and just give money. We come in and we help. You will see that once you are hands-on, you find that, hey, I've made a difference. I can tell you, what we feel whenever we've done something is the smile on the needy woman or the smile on the needy child. You cannot see how elated we are whenever we do that. Or that you have helped a woman who has, for example, this is our leaflet, Transforming the Lives of Women and Girls, okay? And honestly, this is what it means by giving back and helping community. It's not about money, it's about a passion.
Passion.
Yeah. It's about doing something that has made a meaning to your life and a meaning to that person whom you help. This is what we're looking at.
Okay. Yeah. So there you go, Soroptimist International Malaysia. I talking to Joanne Yeoh, the current president of region of Malaysia, and also a physician, also a member of Soroptimist International Malaysia, Dr. Saradha Narayanan. Okay, thank you so much for having us in your busy schedule for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so that is all on the weekly review for today's segment. Thank you again. Bye-bye. Well, there you go. I never thought joining a volunteer organizations can be so liberating for some. Maybe you should try to look into that thick pocket of yours and siphon them for a greater CSR cause. So we're going for another short breather, but don't go anywhere. We're going to tell you on how you can win big and keep big customers, and also how to make serious money for your company. All that next after the break.